Ideally would be if you came upon Focke-Wulfs flying at some few thousand feet below you, and you would do what we term in the business, it's a question of diving on them. In the case of a Tempest, not too fast, maybe a throttled back dive, because I think I've told you they're Tempest, beautifully clean aircraft. It would build up speed very rapidly in a dive, and you didn't want to overshoot them. So you would endeavour, the best position to shoot them would be from the rear, because you would hope, in fact, that the Focke-Wulf pilot had less chance of seeing you from the rear. The same thing applies to us as well when we were bounced. I mean, it was generally from the rear. So ideally, position yourself not too fast that you would overfly them. And keep the aircraft steady. If you're obliged to attack from the beam, well, make sure you allowed enough deflection so you would fly into your shot. Generally, the Focke-Wulfs used to dive to get out of it, get out of the way, if they were of a height to do so. Now that was a very bad move on their part, because a Tempest would outdive them. And those that we shot down generally, it was because the Focke-Wulf thought they could get away in a dive, but they couldn't get away from a Tempest in a dive. Absolutely terrific, solid.
And it already calculated, you know, the position of the guns and everything, so you just aim the target, this bullseye, over the target and press the button.
Because if...
And 20mm cannon fire either wrecks the engine, puts the gyro out of commission, or explodes the bomb.
Normally, and I should tell you that the V1 carried a heavy bomb load, almost as much as the cruise missiles do today, in terms of weight of explosive. And sometimes they exploded. It was a huge row, and we lost pilots that way, if they were too close.
Going around and just giving a little burst at something which happened to be, it might have been a staff car or some sort of truck going along the road, but anything that moved in Germany must have been carrying either senior officers or munitions or soldiers or whatever. In a 10-week period, I think we went through about 20-25 pilots.
No, by a train, beating up the train, because this train was so juicy and big. It was absolutely loaded with that stuff. I decided I'd go back and try it again, so I went down the length of the train this time, and that
ordnance, it packed a punch. And the pilots who flew it seemed to be quite happy with it all the way through.
But it was a wonderful gun platform. As a gun platform, it was absolutely